Fellas, welcome back to another episode of the MK MMA podcast. We are on episode 20 now, bro. I can't believe we have made it to episode 20. So many more episodes to come, and I'm just so excited to dive into this episode. I'm just personally pumped because, one, we just came off UFC 324, which was absolutely awesome. I had such an enjoyment watching that card. There were so many, great outcomes, and there were so many other, even just the main event, with Paddy and Gaethje, just it went a completely different way than I was expecting, and it got the whole crowd and fans just excited. I thought it was just a perfect, new UFC event to come into the new year. It was a great kickoff for the new year of UFC, and I think it just drew in way more new fans, and I just believe that it got everyone so pumped for the rest of this year, and it was just a perfect way to kick it off. Another reason why I'm excited is because we got UFC 325 this weekend. Back-to-back weekends of numbered cards, bro. I can't remember the last time that's happened. I'm super pumped about that, and I just can't wait to dive in, break down a little bit about my UFC 324 reaction, and then talk about UFC 325. So, let's just jump right into it, fellas, and, let me know how excited you are about UFC 325 as well. Drop it in the comments what you think the card is out of 10, and we can just talk about that, But, yeah, what am I starting off today? I'm just going to go into UFC 324. Just do a little fight breakdown reaction. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet, just so there's a lot to cover for UFC 325. But, it went great, man. There was 3 knockouts in a row that was just awesome, and then TKOs. But then Ateba fought, and I know he didn't finish the guy. That was super surprising to me, and he was upset about that as well when he tweeted. He's like, "Sorry, I didn't get the finish, fellas, but on to the next." He still looked really good in that fight. He held his own. He controlled the whole fight, and you can't expect a knockout every single time. But that guy. He fought great, he had 2 knockdowns in the fight, though, almost finished him, and that's what really won in the fight were those 2 knockdowns, because, he got outstruck, actually, in the rest of that fight, but, it's just how the game works. That great knockdowns. I thought he looked really good on the feet, and, yeah, Ateba, we look forward to seeing you fight in your next fight, so, Umar versus Figgy. God, dude, that was a snooze fest. I am not a fan of Umar anymore after watching that fight. I've given him a lot of grace, and he just doesn't do anything. He's just not a champ in my eyes. I don't think you give him a title fight next, but I wouldn't be surprised if he got it next. He's the number 2, just beat the number 6. He beat Mario Batista last as well. He got dropped by Mario. I still can't get over that part. I talk about that all the time, but he just walked around the whole fight. Couldn't even take him down that easily. I know Figgy's a good I know he's very good on the ground game, and he has a good takedown defense. He left Umar 2 for 6 on takedowns. But yeah, Umar outstruck him. He landed 103 strikes. So maybe he fought him a lot better than I think he did. But me personally watching that, I just don't think so. Maybe I need to just rewatch the fight and, get a second opinion on it. But, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Drop it down in the comments if you think Umar deserves the next title shot. Let me know if you think he will become champion. I personally don't think so, because he just doesn't have, the toolkit to be able to get the job done. Or even if he does become champ, I feel like he would just lose in his first title defense. So, yeah, just personally, just not a fan of the fighting style. Let's just say at that. I don't want to disrespect him at all. I'm just not a fan of his fighting style, and I just don't think it's going to work, to become champ one day. Dude, Silva versus Arnold Allen was a crazy fight. I can't believe he stood on his back. That just blew my mind. And obviously, we've never seen anyone do that before. And if I'm Arnold Allen, dude, I'm not dabbing him up after that fight. That was the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in a UFC fight going on in the middle of it. I think Allen fought well. Silva was just a class above him on that fight. He fought him well on the feet. And I was trying to say in the last pod that Arnold probably should have shot for some takedowns and try to win it there. But Silva went 4 for 6 and also outstruck him by 18 strikes. And so I think, I was kind of underrating Silva's ground game a little bit as well. I think Allen just needed to switch up the fight because it was on the feet and Silva was already beating him on the feet. I just feel like Allen should trust his grappling a little bit more and take him down there in that fight, but he just didn't, So, yeah, other than that, Silva looks great. I'm excited to see where he goes in the future as well. I mean, he's now ranked the number 6 fighter in the featherweight class, so that's a big deal for him. I think you give him another fighter, and obviously in the top 5, probably a good contender one that he could fight. I mean, I know Evilov and Murphy are waiting for a title shot. I don't know who you give Silva, but maybe you just throw in one of those two if those two are just like tired of waiting and want to fight. And put it on the line. If I were them, I probably would, just to show that if you beat Silva, you're next in line. Like, you're that guy who fights for the belt next. And you just need to show. They're just in that point in that weight class right now where they just have to show that they're worthy. So let me know what you think. Who Silva should fight next. I'm starting to be more of a fan of him, so I'm really happy for him. I'm excited to see what he's going to do with this featherweight class as well and go from there. But yeah, good job, Silva. Good W. On to the next. Oh, man, this Waldo and Derek Lewis fight I was really upset about. Derek Lewis looked terrible. He just wasn't throwing. I don't even know how he got into the second round. It was just bad. He landed like 8 strikes the whole time. He was just not stalking him down. He wasn't like he was just not throwing. It was just weird. And Waldo he just let Waldo get comfortable and just like control the whole fight. And it just really looked like Lewis just wasn't fully in that fight. I'm not gonna say he wasn't trying, because obviously he was, but it just didn't seem like he was fully there. And I said on the last one, if this fight stays on the feet, which it will, and it did, like, I thought Lewis will just like have it taken care of. But Waldo is a very explosive heavyweight fighter, and he got the job done and beat a guy that is very well respected and scary in the heavyweight division. So good job, Waldo. Shoot, man, maybe give him Volkov. I think that's a great fight next to have him versus Volkov. That would be great. And then that can be a title contention, after this whole Aspinall and Cyril gone, and, even the people are throwing in Pereira. Like, once that gets over with, I'm going to have Volkov and Waldo fight during that stupid, chaos, and then that can be the next fighter they have in line for the belt. I think that personally just saves time. I think that also is great because Volkov beat Almeida, Waldo just beat Derek Lewis, and Waldo's already ranked number 5, and so, put those two together, and I think you have a great heavyweight, brawling match. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. What's the next for Waldo? Let me know what you guys think about him and how his performance went, and we'll go from there. Suga Sean back in the W column. Let's go. I'm so freaking pumped for him, and he looked good. He didn't look great. I personally thought that he was losing some of the fights. It just kind of looked like that way. He got outstruck by 2 punches and got taken down 3 times. And people probably think he won round 1 and 3. He definitely won round 3 because he outstruck him by 13. But he definitely lost round 2. Song Yadong outstruck him. Got 2 takedowns on him. But, Song Yadong, bro, I thought he won round 1. And I'm not saying, maybe Suga Sean, lost that fight. But I don't know. He only got outstruck by 1 strike. So he did get a takedown on Suga, but it didn't last he didn't keep him down for that long. Not at all. So he had more significant strikes than them as well, so that plays a big factor, in my opinion, when you're counting rounds, because significant strikes outweigh total strikes, especially if you're out striking him in significant strikes. So, yeah, but overall, good comeback for Suga. I think he's hungry. I think he is very worthy of being considered for the next title shot in the bantamweight division. Him versus Peter Yan at the White House. I really want that to happen. Let me know what you guys think if that should happen. I've already talked about that for 3 weeks in a row now, but I am super pumped for that to happen. Hopefully it does. I'm praying it does. Hopefully Peter Yan fights someone, like Peter Yan fights Umar, and then Peter Yan and Suga happen at the White House or whatever. But yeah, hopefully Peter Yan and Suga happen. Hopefully, if they decide to have Peter Yan fight someone, before the White House or before like Suga or whatever. Hopefully Peter Yan wins that fight and him and Suga can happen, because I feel like that's definitely deserved for Suga. If if someone fights before him, he should definitely be next in line, because I mean he just beat Song Yadong, who's ranked 5th in the bantamweight division. So I think that just makes sense. All right, now we're going to Gaethje versus Paddy. Let me know out of 10 what you guys thought about this fight. I thought this fight was awesome. Fight of the night. I mean, just an absolute brawl. These guys were just slugging it on the feet. I mean, it wasn't like the prettiest boxing and kick fighting, but it was still awesome. I mean, like Gaethje dropped him in round 1, and then he dropped him again. It was just like crazy, and I did not expect Paddy to I just think Paddy kind of got it brought to him that fight. I really think Gaethje controlled that fight. He outstruck him by 30. I mean, Gaethje went 3 for 3 on takedowns, and Paddy went over 5. It's just like that's kind of crazy to me, because I thought Paddy would just take him down and honestly just submit him. And obviously, I was just totally wrong. Paddy out-significant striked Justin. But you got to consider those takedowns. And then also the knockdowns, too. You have 2 knockdowns. That helps you definitely win rounds above, however the round went, in my opinion. Because if you knock someone down, that's points that outweigh takedowns and total strikes if you're losing in that category. So overall, that was just a great fight. It was a great main event to start the new year. People are raving about that fight. And so am I. You can hear my excitement right now. So just let me know what you guys think about that fight. What's next for Paddy? I don't know what's next for Paddy, honestly. It's really back to the drawing board. Hopefully they find a really fun fight and a good one for him. I also think Paddy was just also not really deserving of that, of that fight. And I think it showed from, from Justin's experience and how long he's been in the game and who he's fought in. And I think his experience just outweighed Paddy's hype. So Justin looked great. I am kind of worried for him versus Ilya, because, Justin gets kind of sloppy when he's tired, when he's throwing. And Ilya, we saw Ilya go to the 3rd round with Max and bring it in, literally knock out Max Holloway. So let me know what you guys think about Paddy. And then about Justin versus Ilya, let me know what you think of the outcome of that fight, how it'll go, how Justin will do, and if Ilya will knock him out or vice versa. So, yeah. And other than that, great UFC 324 event. Great card to bring into the new year, man. And I'm so excited for this new year. The Paramount Plus deal looked so sick. The promos, everything, the streaming of it was just awesome. So let me know what you guys think about the Paramount Plus as well, and what you thought about the first streaming event for it. But other than that, we can pop up the UFC record, pop it up right here as usual. So guys, I went 3 for 3 on UFC 324, so my bad. But hey, 500 is not terrible. But I'm 22-14 now, and I'm kind of happy about that. I'm 22-14. First card to start the year as well. And, I went with my heart with Derek Lewis, and I did Ateba by knockout. And I should have, I honestly should have done Waldo, but I was just super excited for Derek Lewis. Ateba by knockout, I feel like everyone betted that night. And so, but yeah, that's why it's just, because I didn't want to do money line either, just because he was minus 1,000. But anyways, yeah, hopefully you guys tailed the good ones. I did not think Paddy was going to lose either. I honestly had, it didn't even cross my mind that Justin was going to win that fight. But I'm happy. I told you guys I was rooting for Justin, and he won, so I am happy. But also I like my fight record being good. But I'm 22-14. We're going well. But I'll give you my picks for UFC 325 starting right now. Let's just jump right into it as usual, and I'm just gonna rip the 4 fights on the main card. I'm not gonna do too much for this one, but we got Tuivasa versus Texieira. Here's the thing: Texieira is a long, lengthy, tall motherfucker, and Tuivasa, he throws hands. He's really good on the feet. I know this fight's gonna start on the feet, but Texieira's 8-1, coming off a loss. Tuivasa, I love him, but he's gone on losing streaks. He's also come on a loss. Texeira's 6'7", And I gotta make it fun somehow. Come on now. And Tuivasa is 6'2", and so I mean, and then the reach. When you look at the reach as well, I mean, an 83 reach, an 83-inch reach for Texieira, and that's oh my god, can I even do math at this point? It's an 8-inch reach advantage for Texieira because Tuivasa has a 75-inch reach. So let me just put that into better words. Jesus Christ. Tuivasa has a 75-inch reach. Texieira has an 83-inch reach. And, you know, Texieira has an 8-inch reach advantage on that. So, I don't know. Tuivasa does not do good against guys that is just way bigger than him. And I think Texieira is really good, and it's going to stay on the feet. I think Texieira is just going to control the middle, use his length, keep his distance, and I think he's just going to put him to sleep. But yeah, let's just do Texieira money line for that. I really just think that will happen. Mauricio Ruffy versus Fiziev. Fiziev, goddamn. So yeah, Mauricio Ruffy versus Fiziev. I think Ruffy will win that fight. Tap into that a little bit later when we talk about the breakdowns of it. But yeah, I think that's how that fight will go. BSD versus Dan Hooker. I think BSD is going to win this fight. I think he's just, he's young, hungry. Actually, like, not that young, but, like, he's more hungry than Dan Hooker. I think Dan Hooker didn't know what he was getting into when he was taking this fight. I think, I'll get into that in a second. And then, you want Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. My two of my favorite fighters fighting each other. I don't know. But I think Volk's going to take it home. But yeah, that's it for the UFC Fight Record right there, the segment. But yeah, hope you guys liked that. But we'll bounce right into the, UFC 325 right now. So, as I said, Tuivasa versus Texieira. I'll just skim over this because I just talked about it. Yeah, just the reach advantage that Texieira has, that 8-inch reach advantage, and that 5-inch height advantage as well, I think plays a big factor. And Texieira is 8-1. He has a lot to prove. He's ranked number 15 versus Tuivasa, who has been really up and down in the rankings, coming off a loss. He just loses his energy very quickly, and I think Texieira will keep his distance, control the middle as well, and use his distance just to find his and pick and choose his shots. So yeah, that's how I think that fight's gonna go. Honestly, I will be rooting for Tuivasa because he's awesome, but I just don't see it going any other way. So yeah, So Fiziev versus Mauricio Ruffy. Ruffy's coming off a loss. He was not expecting him to lose that fight in the past, but it's just how the fight game works. Dude, Fiziev and Mauricio Ruffy, dude, he's just so versatile, and he's such a killer in my opinion. And Fiziev, in my opinion, he's a BMF fighter as well. But Fiziev 13-4, Ruffy 12-2. I just think Ruffy's so versatile. I don't think Fiziev's going to figure out how to handle like all of his leg kicks, his his versatility of movement, and just how well Ruffy can finish a dude. So I just think Ruffy will really win this fight. I mean, he has 11 wins by knockout of his 12 wins, so that's pretty crazy. And 8 of those come in the first round. And I mean, I know he's 13-4 and he's lost to Gaethje twice. So, I mean, you got to put that into perspective as well. But I just think that I don't think that Fiziev's going to win this fight, honestly. He's lost to Gamera also. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but he's lost to Gamera and he's lost to Gaethje twice. I just think Mauricio Ruffy is going to put him away and in fashion. So then we got Dan Hooker versus BSD. Like I said, I don't think Dan Hooker knew what he was getting himself into. I think BSD has really, really found his stride after that loss in the Dustin Poirier fight. I just really do. He beat Mauricio Ruffy also, which is nuts. And he knocked out Dariush in significant fashion. But I just really think that BSD has found his stride after that Dustin Poirier loss, and I think he's just really, really, really ready to make that jump in the lightweight division and and beat Dan Hooker. I think BSD will will really mix up this fight. I think he will take it to the ground a lot and then get it back on the feet. And then, just mix it up. You just, throw some jabs, throw some straights, throw some shots to the body, just mix it up and down, and then shoot on him. Because as long as you keep a guy like Dan Hooker who likes to stand up, keeping it like throwing shots to the body, into the head, and then you just go for immediate takedown, it's just going to throw him off his game. And then you can just fake those takedowns, as the fight's still going on, if you're in your groove and your rhythm, and then throw, a big shot at the head. And I feel like BSD just has that tool bag to be able to do that and, get that finish. But, yeah, I think BSD will close this out. I'm really excited for how active this lightweight division is on this card as well. So that's going to be super fun to watch. It's my favorite division. Let me know in the comments what your guys' favorite division is. Yeah, mine's lightweight by far. It's just always had the most exciting fighters for me. I've always just loved using them on the UFC games as well when I first started out being a fan. So yeah, that's my favorite division. Then they'll probably have to go to middleweight or welterweight. Obviously featherweight as well is in there too. If I had to give a top 5, I should start doing that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about what your favorite division is. I would love to talk with you guys in the comments about that. So now for the main event, we got Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. God, I'm so torn between this fight. I'm so torn because it's two of my top 5 favorite fighters fighting each other right now. But I honestly, man, I just really think that this fight's just gonna go the exact same as the last fight. And the reason why for that is it's just because once Volk gets your number once he gets your number once, man, he doesn't make mistakes after that. He figures you out and he has good game plans. And I think what Diego Lopes did wrong in their first fight was that he was not doing any takedowns. He wasn't shooting a lot, and then he was leaving his head very vulnerable and throwing crazy shots that was just leaving him vulnerable. And Volkanovski just countered on those and took advantage of that. And I think Diego Lopes is going to do that again because in the Silva fight, it didn't look like he fixed anything. He was just being just throwing shots, not keeping his guard up, and just leaving himself vulnerable. I mean, I'm going to keep harping on that word because it's just true. But yeah, I really think Volk's just going to, take this one home, defend his belt, and go from there because I just don't see it. I think Diego Lopes is easily the second best fighter or third best fighter in this featherweight division. I just don't think he is all the way there yet to be champ just because he hasn't progressed all the way to where he needs to be to get to that, championship level. So, yeah, I think Volk will take this home. I think he's just going to mix it up, taking him down and, ripping shots to the head and the body as well. So I think Volk needs to control that middle, stay on his outside foot, and trust his coaching, trust his game plan, which he does, and go from there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about UFC 325. I'm so pumped. I love the back-to-back weekends of number cards. It's gonna be great, and I just can't wait to get this thing kicked off. And I also will start the pound for pound MK MMA pound for pound rankings right now. Pop them up right here. Nothing changed, as you can see, because the fight last week was just Gaethje versus Paddy for the interim, and I just don't think this all switches up, and I don't think I could put Gaethje in the top 15 just because he's the interim champ. Also, just because of the fight statuses and the resumes these guys have, and I don't know. I just think it'd be crazy to put Gaethje in the top 15 right now. Obviously, if he beats Ilya, that's way different. But yeah, that's it for the MK MMA pound for pound rankings, man. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for giving me the love and support that you guys do. I'm sorry that this is uploading so late into the week and I didn't push out any content for this past Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I just had a lot going on my plate, and it was a long weekend and just with work as well. But, the show must go on. I'm super excited for this UFC 325 card. It's going to be so fun watching it with my boys as usual. And, just can't wait to get this going, push out more content for you guys, and go from there. But guys, road to 1,000 subscribers. I'm currently at 126. I don't care. Just road to 100, road to 1,000. Let's try to make it happen. I need to be better at, just uploading more frequently and earlier in the weeks. It's just, I'm trying to figure that out right now. But I think all my social media pages are going well. I love that you guys are showing me so much support on that. So I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. You guys are awesome. I love the chirps that you guys keep giving me as well. I think it's honestly just pretty funny. And, I've never dealt with that before. So, but yeah, it's fried, man. It's fried. So, but yeah, keep it up, guys. Thank you for the love and support. I love interacting with you guys. Road to 1,000. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, ring that damn bell. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one for episode 21. Peace, fellas.